See if Kenton Stalder on mono green aggro.
What did you just call me?
I didn't call you anything.
Okay, that's fair.
Looks like Stalder is going to be on the play. That's where you want to be here. Adjust the advantage bar.
It's a little early for that, but is it? Have you played Best of One?
Heart's Desire into Growth Chamber Guardian. This one we don't always see in the mono green decks, but it's pretty good at grinding.
Oh, for sure. There's a lot of like 2-for-1 type cards built into the creatures thanks to just the nature of green over the last few years as far as being printed is concerned. The Growth Chamber Guardians, for example, they haven't seen that much play, but when they do show up, they always show up in 4s because it's one of those cards that just is really valuable on 4,
Yeah,
or as a 4 of.
Not exactly Squadron Hawk, but sort of that kind of effect, and it hits harder if you have the mana to dump into it.
As Squadron Crab.
The art on that card is really something.
It's really scary.
that was a something I meant.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like the Discipline Stalder showing here. We saw Lovestruck Beast showing up on turn 3, not activating Growth Chamber Guardian into like a petty theft. We saw the attack there with the 1/1 hanging back, not giving up that token to the Shark token that showed up. He's at 12, facing down 13 power. Wilderness Reclamation is going to untap the lands. Pre-combat, a 1/1 Stonecoil Serpent. Oh, I love
it. What a fun... Oh, I don't like this, though.
The attempt is to force some action because this does destroy the Reclamation, right?
Right, but the trick for the 1/1 Stonecoil for me was that it made it so like another Borrower or something on the 1/1 didn't stop the Lovestruck Beast from attacking. And by killing the Reclamation, you're actually just giving him an out to make the Lovestruck Beast stop attacking, which I don't love. And you take away your ability to pump the Growth Chamber Guardian mid-combat should your opponent play something like Nightpack Ambusher, which they did.
Sure. Yeah, it's definitely a shift in respecting different things. And the Ambusher did show up and eat the Guardian because of that. Reclamation is off the table, though, and this Expansion Explosion in Kassis' hands a little tougher to leverage.
Yeah, he can go Expansion Explosion for 1 on the token, but that's not going to stop this Primal Might, and he's going to just get killed with trample damage from the Stonecoil Serpent.
Yeah, Primal Might there closes things down, and Stalder very quickly up a game over the former Invitational champion, Ely Kassis, as we watch him sideboard.
Yeah, the mono green aggro deck does one thing, but it does it really well. It just plays creatures and attacks. I guess that's 2 things, technically. Does 2 things quite well. The fact that it's monocolored means that it stumbles way less. It lands into the battlefield tapped way less. It doesn't have the same problems that the Gruul aggro deck has, where sometimes it just draws the wrong colors of mana or in the wrong order, or too many lands in the battlefield tapped. There we just saw almost a perfect curve from Stalder and just ran right over Ely Kassis, who I would consider one of the best players on the SCG Tour.
Kassis on the play here. We see a nice Growth Spiral Uro draw. A little Essence Scatter hanging out, which is nice against this start with no 1-drop from Stalder. 2/2 Stonecoil Serpent gets on the battlefield. Not a huge concern.
I'm actually pretty surprised that that more people aren't playing Essence Scatter in the Growth Spiral format. It seems like a perfect card for at least a perfect sideboard card. 2 mana to stop this Gem Razor seems pretty good.
Yeah, it seems to be a reaction to the fact that people are starting to play more beatdown decks to beat Reclamation. We see way more negates than Essence Scatters, right?
Right. There's a lot of main deck negates these days, and I wouldn't expect people to main deck Essence Scatter. There's not nearly enough creatures in the format for it to do anything that good. But it does seem like an outrageously powerful sideboard card here.
Vivian Arcbow Ranger Was temporarily effective, but it didn't get the Stonecoil Serpent out of Storm's Wrath range, and Uro got to escape immediately.
Whoa, but this is a big deal. Shifting Ceratops and then a plus from the Vivian. I mean, as protection from blue, it's going to be kind of hard for Kassis to get it off the table.
7/6 Ceratops, that's some scary stuff.
Now, that Blast Zone can get to 4 and pop, but it might take a little while. I think Stalder here is contemplating just attacking, but that seems pretty poor in the face of a Euro swinging back. It's a very tough race to win.
Yeah, I think that the hope was to get this Ceratops a little bit bigger on this turn, and you see that accomplished here. But you're giving Kassis time to just crank the Blast Zone.
Yeah.
Ram through, takes care of Uro.
Ooh, that does a little bit of that trample damage too. Ram through really stretching it out here. But the Blast Zone's up to 4 now. That's going to be able to pop the Ceratops and the Vivian.
See an activation on Vivian, but this stuff all just gets in the zone. Get those permanents out of there.
Yeah, but no follow-up play. That should be enough for Euro to just kind of steal the game from here on out. That recursive threat is just such a powerful addition to these mid-range decks, you know.
Earlier, Emma and Dom were kind of tracking how many Uros escaped. It's a high number. Another shifting Ceratops for Stalder.
That's it. That's it right there, Chief. That's it.
I mean, it needs a little help. Because he says to 3, though.
All right, so Storm's Wrath takes care of it. That's nice. One of the few cards left in the deck that can. Already burned 1.
And Scavenging Ooze showing up right after Uro escapes. You hate to see that.
Yeah, you really do. I was literally about to say you hate to see it. And I wasn't sure if I was being the ironic one or not, you know? Like, you know, you're supposed to say the opposite one. Like, that's the joke.
Oh, yeah. Well, the thing about irony and why satire is such an ineffective medium is because the audience just assumes you're saying whatever they agree with anyway. So you just say words at random, and then the audience either likes you or they don't. That's the secret.
Yeah, that's exactly what I do.
And Ely Kassis is going to even things up as players go to game number 3.
Yeah, the Scavenging Ooze only got to a 6/6. Looked like Sharktopus was coming down as an 8/8 with Brazen Borrower backup to bounce in case the worst happened. And that's game 2 in favor of Ely Kassis.
A solid opener here for game number 3. Some interaction, some Uro.
Yeah, Ether Gut's also protection from Vivian, one of the powerful planeswalkers that allows for a good snowball effect in this matchup.
Good curve for Stalder, Pelt Collector into Growth Chamber Guardian. Ooh, and a Lovestruck Beast without Heart's Desire gets Essence Scattered, but 4 points come in. And Kassis choosing to play a land tapped, not rushing to play the front side of Uro, going to leave up Ether Gust here. Also curving into Storm's Wrath next turn.
No, I think the Ether Gust is just 1 turn of protection from Vivian Arcbow Ranger. That card coming down when you're tapped out would be pretty brutal. It doesn't quite get things over Storm's Wrath, but it survives Storm's Wrath itself, and then a follow-up Questing Beast or Shifting Ceratops would just be detrimental.
You see Stalder just leaves up 3 mana to activate the Guardian. Kassis finds a Bone Crusher Giant, a very interesting top deck. Storm's Wrath's going to go off. Stalder's going to go find another Growth Chamber Guardian. Won't have the mana to play and activate, so you see Heart's Desire plus Lovestruck Beast. Here's a Stomp on the token. And Bone Crusher shows up right away.
Yeah, it's an interesting play there from Ely. He had a lot of options that turn. The one he chose was like just super interesting. I didn't even consider it. I was just gonna probably cycle through the Euro, but getting a little bit of battlefield presence makes a lot of sense. Yeah, this is a brutal Ether Gust here.
Ram through, attempted to take care of that giant. Gust is going to put that Lovestruck Beast to the top. Now Bone Crusher gets to trade with the Growth Chamber Guardian. You saw in the previous turn, 2 Guardians were played instead of a Pump and Search.
Oh, I love that.
Trade happens, Gust on the other one.
Yeah, let the trade happen. Gusted the other one to kind of clear the battlefield. That also gave enough cards in graveyard exactly for Euro. Just incredible sequencing from Elian. He's really shown why he's one of the best in the world right now.
Really firmly in the driver's seat. You see Uro trades with the Beast and the token. That's whatever. Hand's pretty stacked at this point. There's a Scavenging Ooze. That can eat Uro, but we're looking at Commence the Endgame, Shark Typhoon, Nightpack Ambusher, and Explosion.
Yeah, just a bevy of options here for Ely, and he's going to be able to probably just commence to make a 5/5, but I wouldn't be surprised if he just goes for Shark Typhoon so that he can like hold up mana later.
Reclamation off the top. That is very welcome. See a lot of mana. I see 5 in the pool. We see 9 more forthcoming. Not quite lethal.
No, but he can just use this to blow up the Scavenging Ooze and draw like 9 cards or whatever, and it's just way good enough. Just like way good enough.
That's the whole thing about the card is you assemble the Reclamation Explosion. Sometimes it just deals lethal damage.